for instance, the front slope here, all of this pretty much has been approved for replacement. So when replacing this front slope, the one thing that's connecting the back and the front slope is the ridge cap here. Well, as you can tell, this is a non-vented ridge. What that means is whenever you replace the front slope, you're gonna replace the shingles, right? And what's under the shingles? The underlayment. So on non-vented, that we're gonna call this NVR, right? Non-vented ridge. A lot of times the felt, the underlayment, is actually gonna go over into the back slope. Now, sometimes the felt can also be overlapped from the back slope to the front, which creates an issue here. So if the felt is overlapping towards the back, now we're gonna have to replace and remove this shingle here, this shingle here. A lot of times there needs to be a 4-inch to 6-inch felt overlap. A lot of times the felt is overlapped both ways. So if you're installing shingles on the back slope, you're going to want to overlap the felt towards the front slope, and vice versa. If you have underlayment here on the front slope, you're going to want to overlap that to the back 4 to 6 inches. So again, that means remove this shingle here so we can stick our felt under this roof here. 4 to 6, 4 to 6, 4 to 6 inches. That's going to be the overlapped. Again, NVR, non-vented ridge. Now let's talk about the roof, the entire roof. All of this, the front of the house, has been approved. Well, let's keep in mind the hips. So there's a hip there, ridge, another hip over there, another hip here, more hips. Let's take a better look at the back. Valley 1, Valley 2, Valley 3, hip, hip, ridge, hip. The entire ridge separating the biggest slopes, which are the front and the back. So now let's walk over some more. Front, back. Large hip, hip, ridge, hip, valley, valley, hip, valley, hip, hip. You get the picture. All of the hips is what attaches each slope. Everything is connected as a whole. Everything is connected as one continuous system, right? So if you're replacing this entire front slope here, now you're replacing this hip. hip. You're gonna replace that hip now. And you see how this ridge cap here also crosses over to this side over here. So now you're gonna have to replace this hip as well. So what I'm trying to get you to understand is the simple fact that this is a continuous roofing system. It's one system as a whole. We've already established the fact that this is unrepairable. So when we start messing with other slopes to try to properly install, remove, and replace the approved slopes, we're gonna create damage to the adjacent slopes. It's unavoidable. It's something that it can't be avoided. For us to do our job properly, there's extra measures that we need to take.